Hey up everyone. Well, I told you a while ago now that the 400 to 500cc sector would become the new battleground, and these two bikes epitomise that more than any others right now. I told you about the upcoming ZX Moto 504 Naked Roadster a while ago, and because of the furore around its release, Honda have now followed. So let's not have any of the rubbish about Chinese copies. If anything, it's Honda who have done the copying this time, although both these bikes do obviously have design cues that go back to the original Honda Super Four that was such a beloved bike by so many. But the new Honda is not a development of the old Super Four, it's a completely new bike. What I want to ask you is the question, who do you think got this new Super Four right? And let's be clear from the start, both of these bikes will be built in China, not just the ZX Moto. Something else I would like to add is that we have seen a massive spate of Honda recalls recently. Honda are no longer the company they once were. The iron hand of Soichiro Honda is not the one that leads and guides the company now. Whereas with ZX Moto, you have a CEO with his own money on the line and an attitude that seems very refreshing in this world of shareholder payouts, designs built by number crunchers, and quite honestly, an attitude to customers that often stinks. Zhang Shui walked away from what was a successful position at Covey, and if I'm right, that was in part because the shareholders began to take control over his idea of building the very best motorcycles ever to leave China. He put up the money himself to start ZX Moto and has launched the company with some very exciting new bikes. I featured the 500RR sports bike almost a year ago now in November 2024, and then featured the new 820 triple sports bike in July this year. That bike will undoubtedly be the fastest bike produced in China so far, despite many bigger engines in various bikes. Whatever you may think, he has broken the mould when it comes to Chinese bikes. First at Covey, and now under his own banner, it is he who rules the roost when it comes to innovative Chinese designs. So we aren't comparing like for like when it comes to companies, even if we are with the bikes. Honda are a massive and well-established multinational corporation with dealership networks across the globe, whereas ZX Moto only passed their 10,000 unit production point earlier this year, and they are launching the new bikes at EICMA after a first showing at SEMA in China. They are fighting to gain a foothold outside of China, looking for distributors who can offer the company a launch pad into Western markets. That in itself means, in my opinion, both companies have both plus and minus points. Honda are now governed by shareholders and bean counters, an organisation with one goal, profits. They have fallen from grace in both MotoGP and World Superbikes and are quickly becoming an also-ran rather than a winner. If a bike fails, so what? They have plenty more. Whereas Zhang Shui will not get another chance so easily. He is a man on a mission with motorcycles in his heart and DNA, and failure of any one of his new bikes could well lead to personal losses and much less chance of the company succeeding outside of China. He is certainly the one with the most to lose. But let's look at the bikes. The Honda is a 502cc engine, and it's said to be producing around 80 horsepower, but that is still a provisional figure. It comes with ride-by-wire throttle and 5 rider modes and is built using a steel perimeter frame, an aluminium swing arm and Honda's ProLink rear suspension. Brakes are from Nissin with 4-piston calipers on front, and Honda say the top speed will be 180 to 200 kilometers an hour, which translates to between 111 and 125 miles an hour. So they are being very vague. But they say 0 to 100 kilometers per hour or 0 to 60 mile an hour acceleration will be between 4 and 5 seconds. So again, vague. It comes with Honda's selectable torque control system and Bluetooth road sync connectivity for GPS and music. Undoubtedly, it will have a Bosch ABS system, but there is no mention of it being switchable in any way, and if we look at its larger siblings, none are. so that will be unlikely, I think. Suspension is taken care of by shower upside-down forks at the front, but it again seems unlikely they will be adjustable, except if a higher spec SP version is launched. To finish the package off, we get a round LED headlight, a cheap 5-inch TFT display, and the Honda electronic auto clutch mechanism that was fitted to the not-so-successful CB500 RR. So it's weighed down with all the tech Honda can throw at it. It also comes with a mild steel chrome-plated exhaust system that will look miserable after a few UK winters, however good Honda's plating is. Seat height is around 790mm, and all they would say about weight is that it will be under 200 kilos. And 200 kilos would seem about right, because they are talking about selling a restricted A2 licence version too, so they wouldn't want it to be too light or power restrictions would be ridiculous. Now, let us look at the competition. The ZX Moto 500F is a 470cc four-cylinder engine tuned to produce smooth low-end torque, but will still make around 75 horsepower at 12,000 RPM and 45 Nm or 33 foot-pounds of torque at 10,500 RPM. It's described as an analog bike, but it is fitted with traction control and does come with ABS, but that I am told is switchable, and there are two rider modes, Eco and Sport. It also comes with a push-pull cable throttle, none of those damn ride-by-wire systems that promise so much but rarely, if ever, deliver. More importantly for me, as you heard in my recent video talking about the downside of TFT screens, is it is fitted with real analog gauges. Speedo and rev counter are mechanically driven, with just a tiny digital screen between for the idiot lights. It also comes with a standard clutch and a straight 6-speed gearbox, although it will have a slipper clutch direct from the gearbox of the 500cc sports bike. So you can see differences emerging already in the design philosophy of these two very similar looking bikes. The ZX Moto 500F comes with damping adjustable upside down front forks made by Yuan, and it also has preload adjustable monoshock at the rear. Now Yuan might not be a big name yet, but they are seen as the Olins of China and have been doing what they do a long time now. They're a well-established company with a growing reputation, and in the ZX Moto bikes they have a way of proving they are as good as any other brand on the market. So we will see. Brakes are made by Tysco, who have been around just as long as Nissan, and we get similar 4-piston calipers. We get a few more details too, with twin 300mm floating discs on the front that will give you more than adequate stopping power. Top speed is quoted at 205 km an hour, which translates to 127 mile an hour, and they say 0 to 100 km an hour or 0 to 60 miles per hour acceleration will be around 4 seconds. And so far at both Kovei and ZX Moto, Zhangshui's quoted figures have been far more accurate than those often touted by more established brands. So it will be almost certainly faster than the Honda and maybe significantly quicker. Steering should be sharp with a 25.5 degree rake, but there aren't too many details yet, other than I know it has a 180 section rear tyre, but I have just got my hands on the full spec sheets for this and the 820RR series of sports bikes, but that will have to follow in a different video. The key here for me is weight, and the ZX Moto is set to come in at just 175 kilos. That is a full 25 kilos less than the Honda, which is immense. So it will be both lighter and faster. The Super Four was always a rider's bike, not a bragging rights machine, but it was a bike that would sail through the twisties and scrape the pegs around corners in ways many bikes could only dream of. The gearbox was slick, the suspension somehow both plush and firm, and the general build quality was as good as any of Honda's bigger bikes of the period. So which of these bikes will live up to the Super Four's reputation? Which do you think will be the better rider's bike? As I have said, the Honda is equipped with a TFT dash, electronic auto clutch mechanism, complete electronic suite, whereas the ZX Moto is a traditional design with real analog gauges and a straight 6-speed gearbox that relies on getting the basics right. Have Honda got it right with their heavily tech-laden TFT-screened automatic electropop idle? Or have ZX Moto been truer to the original with their minimalist traditional design? Who has come closest to the original Super Four and CB1's design ethos in their effort to create the best rider's bike in its class? Time will tell, and for some of us, despite all of Sanctuary's efforts, we might sadly never even see it. But if we shout loud enough and the launch of Tacoma goes well, hopefully there are distributors that will be prepared to take the chance and bring this bike into Europe, the UK, Australia and America. If they do, then we will have a genuine battle on our hands. So fingers crossed for this new company. I, for one, hope they succeed in their endeavours and get some good distributors signed up to back up their brand. Thanks as always for watching, and I look forward to hearing your comments. You know I will reply when I can. If you look, you will see several videos that feature the rise of Zhang Shui on this channel. From his tears of despair and joy at his very first Dakar, to his resignation at Covey, and the release of the fastest Chinese bike built so far. So there's plenty to go at, and they are definitely worth watching. I will link them all in the description. Try and remember to like the video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And if you're watching on mobile, hitting the hype button should help too if you could. Sharing the video anywhere you think people will be interested helps us the most right now though. Do remember to keep checking your subscription tab, because in my honest opinion, the YouTube algorithm is broken. The channels you subscribe to are much less likely to appear in your homepage now. You will have to go to the subscriptions tab to search us out. If you would like to help us to stay truly independent, on the Ko-fi link in the description you get access to a private group where I share videos I just can't screen on YouTube. There are videos anyone can watch there, but if you make a one-off donation or join our group of monthly subscribers, you get access to other videos that only the channel's patrons can see. Join us on Rumble too. There is some great content that I just can't share on YouTube. And don't forget, we make the best biker t-shirts. Hundreds of original designs on premium quality t-shirts and neck gaiters, all available worldwide. Links to the main website and the Redbubble shop are in the description. Have a great week, and always remember, keep your spanners close and your keys even closer. Ride free, everyone!